What is going on, guys? Kurosabola here, and today we're going to be breaking down the red archetype going into set 3 of Fusion World. Jiren looks like he's going to be playing a little bit differently than every other red deck that currently exists. So it seems to me like he's going to be a bit more on the defensive side than aggressive side. That's all going to come down based to what releases with Jiren, but we'll just have to wait and see. But a lot of the stuff that's come out has looked pretty promising for Jiren. So if you guys want to see more Fusion World content and breakdowns like this, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, before we get started too, I do want to say thank you guys all for the love and support with all the shorts, all the new recent subscribers. Do greatly appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. Yeah, do appreciate it. So let's get into it. So we got Jiren. He is going to be our 25k power leader on his Awakened side. Just like every other 25k leader, he's got to awaken at 3, or he's going to be at 3 life when he awakens. But once he is awakened, he has a permanent effect where if you have a battle card with 30,000 power or more, you only take up to 1 damage in each battle. And then when you take damage, you draw a card. So he doesn't draw like most leaders anyway. And every other 25k leader has like a pseudo draw ability or no draw ability whatsoever. But this is actually interesting because not only is he essentially stopping double strikers from hitting 2 life on you, which helps coincide with the draw ability, but maybe because of how this text is and some of the stuff that's kind of already being teased, maybe a later reveal may show that maybe Red will have a healing factor, like 6-drop Gohan and the 8-drop Cell and stuff like that. Would be really interesting for Red to get a card like that. Not sure if it'll necessarily, if a card like that gives life back would necessarily flow really well with other Red leaders, but we'll just have to wait and see. Either way, I mean, this ability is actually really strong. The fact that, again, double striking is ineffective. You only take 1 life from a double striker if you have a 30k power card on the battlefield. But what's cool about this is that you take a damage, and then when you take damage, you draw 2. So on a single life that's being pulled, you're essentially drawing 2 cards. That could completely throw you off from. That could throw your opponent off from actually like doing any sort of additional pushes into your leader, because for all they know, you drew 2 super combos. You drew a super combo and a 10k. You got some energy still up. Maybe you drew an extra card that gives you 25,000 extra power. Like there's a lot of variables when drawing 2 cards off life that can slow down your opponent's aggression, and I think that's actually really cool for a leader like this. But I mean, obviously, in order for this effect to really like make sense, you need to have some stuff in your deck that'll actually facilitate that. Which starts with this. We got a 1-drop Margarita, who's 10k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader is awakened, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. I think for a common card, having an ability like this, for it being cheap, having the combo numbers that it does too, is really good. This is probably one of the better common cards I think in the game, and especially in Red, it might be one of the best common cards in Red. Like getting 10,000 power is actually really strong, and that really does help to facilitate that you have stuff on board that's 3,000. Now, this is to play more aggro. Obviously, it doesn't 100%. It doesn't obviously work on defense because you're not necessarily playing this off defense unless something lets you play something on defense. We'll have to see. But I mean, this is still good. This is a card that could add some hyper aggression to your deck, and you could easily use this with any Red deck and actually get some use out of it. So it's an all-around good Red card. I can't really complain. Then we got a 2-drop Dispo, 20k power, 5k combo, who gets a pseudo self-awakened ability. He's got a permanent effect of if this card would be removed from your battle area by your opponent, you may place 1 card from your life and its owner's drop instead. And then when he attacks, he can get rid of 5k power or less cards by KOing it. So, I mean, Dispo seems like he could be pretty good. It feels a little bad that it feels a little bad that you can keep this guy on board if you want and remove part of your life, but it's basically like a crit, like it goes into your drop. So that feels bad, but that's what kind of leans me into thinking that red may get a card of some sort that allows you to revive life and gain life back. So, because I mean, it feels a little bad to use that, but at the same time, like, I don't know, you combo a card like this with Margarita, who boosts your card up, who basically boosts you up by 10,000. You can combo with the Margarita then to put Dispo at 40,000. Like, that, I mean, that's a worthwhile strategy, I think. Yeah, I mean, I like this Dispo, and I like that we're getting like Self-Awakening strats, because we lost a lot of Self-Awakening when it comes to red. Losing the Roshi, which is a 1-drop, is that like actually kind of sucks. So having a card like this that you can just keep on board like indefinitely, and that's what's crazy too, right? It's the fact that like he can't, like, basically if you take a life instead, you basically ignore any KO effects, any bottom decking, put back to hand effects. Like, this is a pretty strong card. This was pretty good. And then lastly, we got a 3-drop 20k power 5k combo Vegeta, Evo Vegeta, which is really cool. When attacking, you discard 2 cards from your hand until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card cannot be KO'd, and it gets 30,000 power. Then activate main once per turn. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25,000 power or less, and then KO it. Then KO this card. So, this card's nuts. This card is just insane. Being able to just discard 2 cards on attack to gain 30,000 power and then not be KO'd, which basically works with his activate main as well. Like, you could KO a battle card once per turn and not remove this guy off board. And he basically stays on board. Like, I don't think there's a way that you can really kill this guy unless you like ramp him or like bottom deck. Like, there's no way you can really like get rid of this guy otherwise. So it's actually it's a pretty strong card. Works really well with the Jiren leader, obviously, because Jiren needs 30k power cards on board for his effect to really matter. But what's really crazy too is that even though Kefla got nerfed, you could, if you wanted to, play this guy off Kefla and actually have it mean something. And then when it comes to Top Coup specifically, Top Coup looks like the idea of Top Coup potentially playing tall as opposed to wide is a very interesting prospect. So maybe like Top Coup doesn't play as wide as he wants to, but if you can put big beat sticks like this guy in Top Coup and have it work for you, like, it can do a lot. And like, especially when you like take into account that Top Coup already has cards like Ganos, already has cards like the promo Gohan that goes up to 40,000 on your turn. You got stuff like the Berserk Kefla that's 35 on your turn. But yeah, it's just I just got no words, man. Like, this, like, people were upset about Top Coup, rightfully so, but like now we have to worry about like these big beat sticks like this. And while I don't think like this guy isn't all that hard to remove in blue, and like a 3 cost isn't like all that much. So I mean, there's ways you can get around this guy, but it's still the fact that like 50,000 for 3 cost is crazy. He's definitely a game ender. That's not necessarily an ability you use to play this guy. You probably play this guy later in the game as opposed to early on. So that's something to take into account too. But I mean, like, I think it's the amount of stuff that it's doing is just crazy, and it's like, it's hyper aggressive. But either way, I think this is a good card, and I like that Evolution Evolution Blue Vegeta is actually kind of coming back into Fusion World, which is really cool. But that's gonna do it for this this breakdown. These are all the red reveals that we've kind of seen so far outside of the super combo. We're not really going to. These are gonna be kind of shorter videos. Once like we get like a full breakdown of like every card that's like revealing, like, we'll definitely do another video at some point. But I kind of wanted to at least put this out there and give an idea of like how some of these decks are meant to kind of be played. or at least do some theory crafting in that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. We just broke 100 subscribers, so I do greatly appreciate everybody who's been showing support for the channel and watching the shorts and stuff like that. So do appreciate you all for the love and support. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you guys again so much, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.